anything that goes wrong, probably Mercury is in retrograde. So maybe emotionally you're a Virgo, personality wise you're a Leo, and your life you're living like a Sagittarius. You never know. We recommend that Manglik should marry a Manglik, but it's not a necessity. And it's not necessary that a Manglik person will hurt you, like they say. That is an excellent remedy, you can say, to cure almost all problems of your life.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Listen Up with Sim and Isha, where we dive into real conversations about life, personal growth, and everything in between. Today, we have an exciting episode lined up for you, so turn up the volume and listen up.
Hi everyone, welcome to Listen Up. And today we have a very special guest with us, Rupali, who I have begged Isha to get because I have always been so intrigued by astrology and tarot and readings. And I think most of the people in our generation now with Instagram and everything are so much into it as well. But there's a lot of misinformation out there, especially for me for sure. So I was like, Isha, do you know anyone? And can you bring somebody on? And she actually introduced me to Rupali, right, Isha? So that's how it happened.
Yes. So when you asked me first time, when you mentioned that, I was like, "Bagal mein chora aur shehar mein dindora." Like my personal confidant, my calm in this chaos, my best friend is such a good Vedic astrologer and a tarot card reader. I've seen her journey like up close, from being an aspiring astrologer to becoming an expert and now teaching so many budding astrologers. So I am definitely in awe of her, and I was so sure that she can impart wisdom in this episode. And with so much happiness, I get to say this. Welcome to Listen Up, Rupali.
I am so excited to be here, and I'm so glad we are finally doing this because I have so much to say. I always have so much to say.
I know.
And I love that I have a platform to say it now.
Yes.
Yay.
I think astrology is one topic जो आजकल की generation बहुत ज़्यादा intriguingly follow कर रही है. और जब रूपाली ने भी मतलब मैं और रूपाली साथ में भी best friend भी बचपन से horoscopes देखते थे. Like that was one thing, and then eventually she turned into astrologer, and then she started learning. So I've seen that curve in her also. So it's something that really is intriguing the generation. Hana Simran?
Yeah, but like for me personally, like I'm that idiot who always reads the column of the horoscope. Like I always do that like every week. But I always am like, ye kitna sahi hai, kitna galat hai, because sometimes you read it but you're like, does this actually like work, or is there a science behind it or not, or like what it is exactly? I would actually like to ask you, Rupali, like what do you think about like horoscopes as well, and like, how can we use this in our lives, and how much should we take and how much should we leave, kind of a thing?
Okay, so I love that you've started with this question because this is one of the biggest misconceptions in astrology. Checking your horoscope, checking your sun sign. Because what happens there is you have divided the entire world's population, 8.2 billion, into 12. Now we are not all living those 12 specific kinds of lives. We are not. So I won't say that that's correct 100%. It's not. Maybe partially, maybe somewhat. Many times you won't even resonate with it. But dividing the population into 12, it sounds very confusing because that's not how it works.
Okay.
Our birth charts have all 12 zodiac signs. Okay? So it's like when we make a birth chart, our life is divided into 12 sections or 12 houses in that birth chart. And the 12 zodiac signs will fall into those 12 houses. So maybe emotionally you're a Virgo, personality wise you're a Leo, and your life you're living like a Sagittarius. You never know. So you have all 12 signs working for you, not just one, never just one.
Okay, so all my life I have resonated, and I've told this to you numerous times. I'm a Leo baby. I'm a Leo woman. So जब मैं वो Leo वाले सारे quotes पढ़ती हूँ, is that something that I should not relate to anymore? Is that what you're trying to say? कि वो अब वो relevant नहीं है?
Honestly, like the year you were born.
Okay.
What we have done actually is we have divided the signs from dates. Okay, so usually it's 21 to 21 or 21 to 20. That sun was in Leo. But the thing is, see, the division is correct. Sun stays in one sign for approximately 30 days.
Okay.
But it's not always 21 to 21. So the year you were born, 1997, when you were born, sun was actually in the sign of Cancer
When I
for
was
30 days, not Leo. So you actually have a Cancer sun, not a Leo sun.
So I'm not a Leo baby.
No, you're not a Leo baby.
Simran, what's your sun sign?
I'm scared now because I don't know what I am.
Yes, you are not a Leo. That's why sometimes when you read those horoscopes, you're like, I don't relate to this.
Oh, that makes sense.
And that's why you don't relate to this because you're not that sign.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes a
So,
lot
so
of
you
sense.
are what? A November baby, right? You are a Sagittarius, I think.
I'm a Sagittarian. Yeah, I'm a Sagittarian.
From what we know. From what
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah, from what we know. See, because they fixed the dates from 21 to 21.
Huh.
21, April to 21, May is this.
Yes.
But that's not true. Because this month only the sun changed sign on April around 13th, 14th.
Okay, so maybe the people who are born in this month, they
Yeah.
will not be the signs that are actually given.
Yeah, anybody who's born now will be an Aries, not a Taurus.
Oh, interesting.
Oh my god, that's so
I don't
interesting, you know. And like we are just taught such a basic way of looking at astrology, and there is so much, you know, depth in it, which I had no idea about, to be honest with you. Because sometimes people, I know some friends who are into it, they will ask me that, oh, what are you? And I'll be like, I'm Sagittarius. And then they'll be like, oh, but what is your sun and what is your moon? I said, I don't know. The sun is up and the moon is down. Like, I have no idea, like, what exactly is it? But I think it's exactly what you're trying to share as well. Like, that it depends on, you know, your birth.
The
and
year
like,
you're born in
yeah,
and everything.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
We should not just randomly accept. We should also actually.
No. You actually need to check that at the time when you were born, where was that planet actually transiting? Which sign was it actually in?
Got
So you can't just blindly say that 21 to 21, so I'm this.
Hmm.
No, that is not correct.
I hear you.
It's not how that works.
I get it now. Yes.
Another like big one for me at least, like which I read a lot on Instagram, is like, you know, you have these memes about the Mercury retrograde. This is something which is like literally, I was talking to my friend the other day and I was just like, you know, oh yeah, this is not happening, and then she goes like, yeah, it's okay, the Mercury is in retrograde, and I'm just like, what is that? Like, you know, like and I think it's like,
I hear you.
I am so intrigued by this concept. To be honest with you, I completely don't understand it. And I would like to know, like, what is the truth behind it? Like, why do we say that? Like, Mercury is in retrograde. Like, what does that mean, like, exactly when it comes to astrology?
I love that question because that is such a hot topic.
Yeah.
And
All the
people are blaming Mercury retrograde left,
All the
right,
time.
center.
Yeah.
Anything that goes wrong, probably Mercury is in retrograde.
Yeah.
But let me just say it in a very layman language, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what actually is retrograde? First of all, let's talk about that. So, we know that the planets are orbiting the sun, right? And the planets that are closer to the sun, they orbit faster compared to Earth. Now, imagine that you're in a car and you're driving at, say, 60 km per hour. And there's a car that is behind you right now, but that is traveling at 100 km per hour. So, obviously, that car will cross you at one point,
Yeah.
right? And at that point, when that car is crossing you, it'll feel like you're going back and the car is moving forward. When in reality, you're not actually going back. It's an illusion. So, when Mercury crosses the Earth, laps the Earth,
Yeah.
that is the illusion we see as retrograde. So it's not that we are moving backwards or Mercury is moving forward. It's an illusion that is created in the sky. So no planet is actually going backwards.
Okay.
No planet is actually moving in the opposite direction.
Wow.
Now, what happens in astrological terms here? Now, when a planet goes retrograde, now we say that it's going backwards, talking about Mercury. Mercury is a planet of communication, it's a planet of calculation, analysis, even business, trading, so many things. So when Mercury, to be specific, goes retrograde, now it wants you to reflect back, look back at whatever you've done in all these areas, to be specific. So revise your mistakes and be careful about what you're doing now, especially during this time period, because what happens is, when Mercury finally goes direct, when you're out of that illusion that you're moving backwards, things will fall into perspective, things will start becoming more clear because now the motion changes, the illusion is gone. And that is why sometimes people make decisions in retrograde. Like people say that my ex came back, my ex texted me. So communication again, and connections.
Oh my god, that's
That
crazy.
is why, because now everybody there's the energy in the universe to reflect back, especially in the areas governed by Mercury.
Wow.
So that is how actually
And
retrograde
how
works.
frequently does this happen?
3 to 4 times a year, Mercury
Okay.
retrograde.
Yay! Lovely.
that
Our
makes
exes
sense.
are messaging us 4 times a year. That's nice.
It's making sense. Everything's tying up now. Mercury is in retrograde.
Yeah, but imagine that when Mercury is retrograde and a baby is born during that time.
Oh.
So when the planet is actually retrograde, when that car is crossing you, that point you are closest to that car. So when a planet is retrograde, it is closest to the Earth at that point. The effect is huge.
Wow.
Okay, so that is why people who have Mercury retrograde, who were born at that time, they will have a very unique way of communication.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
very interesting. Yeah, like I because honestly, I think we just blame these things without really understanding them, or like
Standing, yeah.
just say that it doesn't matter or like it matters. People who believe will believe, but people who don't, and we just don't really get into the depth of it to understand why. Like I love what you said. It also means that it's basically reflection. You need to take that time to
Yeah.
reflect, and the world is reflecting at that time, and that's why people are going back on things, or they are having these moments of realizations, because it's a period of reflection, not a period of action, basically. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe we need to revise. Maybe we need to look back on what went wrong.
Yes, you need
Okay.
to recheck.
There's one more very scary thing. Retrograde se mujhe yaad aaya because she was mentioning about Instagram memes. Shani.
Oh yeah.
Saturn. 7.5 साल का जो शनि का पीरियड आता है, जिसे लोग 7.5 ही कहते हैं, which is very famous. I think everybody is so scared of that period of life. और वो हर एक की लाइफ में रूपाली आना ही आना है. Like
Yes.
you cannot, it's inevitable, right?
It's inevitable.
We cannot fight that.
Yes.
So फिर why are we so scared of it? Is that also a myth? That is it something that we should be scared of also at this point?
Okay, so let me start explaining by giving you a little how this works. Let me explain how this works. So when a person starts undergoing Sadesati, now Sadesati is seen from the placement of moon. Okay. Now what is moon? Moon is your emotions, and most importantly, it's also your desires, what you want, what you wish for, what you hope for. Okay. So what happens is, whatever you desire, whatever I want in my life, I will act accordingly. I will run after that. When Saturn Sadesati comes for 7.5 years, Saturn starts controlling the moon. Okay, the transit of Saturn will control the moon for 7.5 years, and Saturn is a planet that creates restrictions, creates boundaries. Now, I feel that restrictions and boundaries is a very negative term, because Saturn here wants you to focus on your karma, basically your good karma. Okay? Now, when Saturn wants you to check on your emotions, desires for 7.5 years, and it's not giving you what you want, because maybe what you want is actually not good for you or not good for other people.
Okay.
People start hating that, because nobody wants to keep their desires and their emotions in check. Because why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
That is
I want
why-
everything.
Everyone wants everything. That is why when Sadesati comes and you are forced to check your emotions, check your desires, check your relationships, especially with your mother. Moon is also your mother.
Okay.
People hate that.
Okay.
And that is why during Sadesati, people do a lot of things. They take a lot of actions, which actually causes them trouble later on, because they run after their desires. Whereas this time period has come to teach you how to manage your emotions.
Oh wow.
And everybody faces it.
Yeah, interesting. Very
It's so
interesting.
funny. It's just life, even, right? Like, because if you do chase anything, it just goes away from you. And the more you detach from it and let it happen, it naturally happens
Yes.
as well when the time is right, But we are just
So
so
I think darna nahi
impatient.
chahiye.
No, Saturn Sadesati has the ability, if you are ready to put in hard work, if you are ready to
Yeah.
create that emotional boundary कि मुझे जो गलत चीजें हैं वो नहीं चाहिए, I want to be pure, I want to be ethical. Saturn Sadesati is capable of giving you immense rise.
Wow.
I know somebody, like just yesterday, I told somebody that your Sade Sati was over in like the last Saturn transit happened in March, and your Sade Sati was over. And he actually said that please bring it back. That was the best time period of my life.
Wow. That's interesting.
People have become prime ministers, people have become CEOs, had the best weddings during Sade Sati.
Wow.
Lovely. So it's actually really how you take it, you know. If you take it in a negative sense, it is
yes.
a negative thing. If you take it in a positive sense, it is a positive thing. It really depends
Positive
on
thing.
what are you learning in that period, you know. Like
Exactly.
what's it trying to teach you. I think like another thing like Sade Sati that I've heard a lot. I don't really like right now. I'm in a place in my life where I'm beginning a new relationship. I just finished a Roka ceremony and all of those things.
Congratulations!
Thank you so much. And there's a word which came up in when the elders were talking, and they were like, "Oh, we have to check if there is manglik, in the relationship, and is she or he mangling?" Or I didn't really understand what that means, but I've heard this a lot. I've heard also some celebs who've had manglik in their relationships. Is it like a bad thing? Like if a woman or a man is like, or can a woman and a man be manglik? I have no idea, but yeah. Like, is it something that like would hinder the relationship and you should not go ahead, or like,
Okay, let me explain. So, a person is considered to be manglik. Like I told you that when we make a birth chart, we divide it into 12 sections or 12 houses, and each house is governing different areas of your life. Okay. So, out of those 12 houses, if Mars falls into 12th, 1st, 4th, 7th, or 8th, that's 5. So if it falls into any of these 5 houses, a person is considered to be manglik. That's 5 out of 12 houses, right? And some astrologers even consider second house as well.
Okay.
So if Mars falls into these 6 houses, a person is considered manglik. That's 6 out of 12. So keep checking the probability of how many people are manglik in this world, right? If 6 out of 12 placements are of a manglik, then how many people are
50%.
manglik? Yes. If now, some people also check manglik through moon chart or Chandra Kundali.
Okay.
So if similar placements happen in your Chandra Kundali, then you are again considered a manglik. Many people consider you a manglik then. So now 2 charts, 6 houses each in both charts. If we keep looking at it that way, more than 80% of the world's population would be manglik. So how bad is it, right?
It's horrible. We can't get married to anyone.
Yeah, we all need to marry trees now.
Yay.
Yes. So the thing is, Mars is considered a very energy-giving, very passionate, intense planet. Okay? And Mars is also considered as a soldier, right? So the thing is, people don't like a soldier's energy coming into the household, or a soldier's intense, passionate energy in a marriage. And that is why it scares them. And that is why it is said that a manglik should marry a manglik. So it's not a should. If he wants to, he can. But if he wants to somebody else, he can marry a non-manglik also. It's not an issue.
Okay.
But if a manglik marries a manglik, they have similar energy.
Yeah, they match on that frequency.
Yeah, they match on that level, that passion, that intensity. So they match there. That is why it is recommended that a manglik should marry a manglik. It's not necessary at all. If you gel with the person, you gel with the person.
Okay.
And a person being manglik or not, it's a very, it's not even the most important thing we see when we do matchmaking of birth charts. It's one aspect of it. We really need to see how the marriage house is, how other placements of the chart are, and to see if the charts actually match. And manglik is just one thing.
So it's just a non-trivial part. It's a part, but a non-trivial part.
Yes.
Not just a whole thing.
It's not the whole thing. It's a part of a whole picture.
Oh, nice. So even I am in the, arranged marriage part, and you know this, that I have sometimes come to you and asked you, Rupali, manglik, non-manglik, because I am not. I am a non-manglik person.
Yeah.
But now I understand this better. So what are I just had a question, like you were explaining. You mentioned that passionate or ये वाली जो energy. So Mars, what does Mars actually represent? Mangal क्या represent करता है हमारी life में?
Okay, so Mars is many things, but if I had to narrow it down to one or two words, it's your energy, it's your intensity, it's your passion.
Got it.
Okay,
Okay.
where are you fighting for?
Ah.
That is what Mars is. And I always say that wherever Mars is placed, that's how it acts there. Because Mars also tries to protect. But, like, I've heard my teachers say this, that Mars is like a planet that is wearing a jacket, but that jacket has nails on it. So even if it'll hug you, it'll
Hurt
it'll
you.
scratch you.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's that is the level of energy Mars has.
Oh wow. So that's a lot of energy. That's a
Lot of energy. That is why we recommend that Manglik should marry a Manglik, but it's not a necessity. And it's not necessary that a Manglik person will hurt you, like they say.
I think that's good to know because it's a doubt in everybody's head. Lack of knowledge के कारण शायद कि हमें लगता है कि नहीं, because I think मुझे ऐसा लगता है generation से ना with astrology बहुत ज़्यादा डर डाल दिया गया चीज़ों के साथ. मांगलिक is a scary thing, साढ़े साथी is a scary thing. One another scary thought that I have heard a lot. बहुत सारे दिन होते हैं month के अंदर, एकादशी होती है, अमावस्या होती है, पूर्णिमा होती है. How are these moon cycles actually working and how are they affecting us? Like हमारे डे टू डे बेसिस में आर दे इवन इम्पैक्टिंग? इज दैट एनर्जी एक्सट्रीम जिससे हमें थोड़ा कॉन्शियस होना चाहिए?
Yes. So, okay, I love your question because moon cycles is actually my favorite topic.
Oh, that's
Honestly,
good to
even
know.
mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I always make sure I know when Amavasya is or when Purnima is. Because Amavasya, like the new moon, and Purnima, like the full moon, they are two ends of the moon cycle, right? So when Amavasya is there, whenever Amavasya comes, the moon and sun, they are conjunct, like they're together, you can say.
Amavasya is the day when there is no moon in the sky.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
no moon in the sky.
Yeah.
So they're together.
Huh.
So sun is the king and moon is our emotions.
Okay.
Now on Amavasya, you can say that sun has full control over the moon, and when it's Purnima and you draw a birth chart on Purnima, sun and moon will fall on the opposite ends.
Okay.
So now the emotions are completely free. Okay. So one makes you very, very stubborn, and the other one makes you extremely free, independent, free-spirited. And you would want a balance in your life. You don't want to be extremely stubborn, or you don't want to be extremely independent that you don't want to listen to anybody.
Yeah.
Right? And whenever Amavasya and Purnima comes, these two energies are there in the universe. And that is why your emotions tend to go haywire, especially on these 2 days.
Got it.
Right? So for these 2 days, I always say that if you're getting too emotional or if you're getting too stuck up on something, it's better to just wait it out. Don't take major decisions on Amavasya, don't take major decisions on Purnima, because you might start feeling something else on the next day.
Okay.
And you're feeling a very strong emotion because of the intensity of the dates, right? In fact, I always tell people that these are the dates where you donate items, where you give food items, donate to people, especially food.
Okay.
And that will help you to resolve your emotions. And that's why you need to be careful.
Yeah.
In fact, if I add on to it, I actually read a study. I think it was Indiana School of Medicine, if I can remember. I may be wrong, but there was actually a study that in which they had seen that the number of suicidal deaths are the highest during Amavasya and Purnima.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
That's
yes.
insane.
So emotional control is needed on these dates.
Oh my god.
That's
That
easy.
is crazy, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
That's
like the
crazy.
moon, even for me, I don't know, maybe it's also like a woman thing because I think a lot of women and moon have like they have a connection of what I've read, and like I feel like whenever there's a full moon or no moon, you know, I always feel like it's a very intense day for me, and I keep it like in the back of my head that okay, today is this day, like don't make any abrupt decisions, like take your time.
Take your time. Yeah. Wait it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I always call her and tell her like it's Amavasya.
Yeah. She just
Don't do
reminded me.
anything stupid.
I get
That's
that
cute.
reminder every Amavasya Purnima.
Cool. I think there's just been so much interesting conversation today about astrology and a lot of misconceptions I had as well, about these things, and we had as well about these things. And it's really nice to speak to an expert like you, because you can also give us insight into it without making it sound like such a horrible thing or such an amazing thing also. Sometimes it's the both, So we really appreciate this conversation today for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Before you go to Bali, can you give us one ritual practice? Because one of our audience, really relates with us and content. जब हम कुछ uncertainty की बात करते हैं या confidence की बात करते हैं, a lot of people who follow us, they want to learn how to be more confident. So somebody who's struggling in this uncertain times, उनके लिए कोई ritual, कोई practice that they can add on into their life जो थोड़ा help कर सकती है. ज़्यादा heavy भी नहीं कुछ, but maybe something we can suggest.
And none of you are going to like this, by the way.
Okay.
Because, but I'm sure our parents will love it, especially our moms.
Okay.
Because the one thing that you can actually do to make your life better is you wake up with the sunrise. Okay.
With the sunrise.
Yes. You wake up when the world wakes up. Okay. And if you want to add on to this, you should offer water to the sun. That is an excellent remedy, you can say, to cure almost all problems of your life. Because sun is your confidence, it's your immunity, so it'll take care of most of the things. Okay, it's your soul, basically. Sun represents your soul. And offering water to the sun, waking up at that time, syncing yourself to the timing of the universe, that will change your life.
Okay, so मैं कल से 5:30 उठ रही हूँ रोज.
Yes.
I'm waking up at 5:30. Yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Let me know how it goes.
Yeah. Simran is like, I'm not even trying.
Our mothers were right all along. Jaldi utho.
No, but I have to agree with you. Like, the days I do end up waking up early are the better days. And I always tell myself, why don't I do this all the time? I'm like, I'm like, it was such a nice long day. I got so much done. I was so productive. It's always the days where I'm woken up a little earlier than usual. Those are the days. I've never had like a bad day if I've woken up early. Like, never, So yeah, I completely agree with you.
Even I agree with you. I get it. Vani, this conversation has been so enlightening, and I think बहुत सारी knowledge मिली, बहुत सारे myths break हुए. Before you go, you have to tell our audience where they can find you, where they can reach out to you for consultations. And guys, I can vouch for it. Her predictions are accurate. You can definitely go to her for consultations.
Oh my God, thank you so much. So I have an Instagram account and a YouTube account by name of You Through the Stars, and you can find me there.
I'll link everything in the description below, and then you can find and reach out to her and get your consultations from her as well.
Nice.
It was a pleasure being here.
Oh, it was. We are so happy we did this. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much.
I had to.
This was so much fun.
This was lovely. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you joining in. We appreciate everybody who was listening. And yeah, we'll hopefully have Rupali again soon in the future.
Yes.
When we do another episode. If you have any questions for Rupali also, please do drop it in the comments or like reach out to her. Obviously, she's amazing. I'm going to go follow her and reach out to her now. So yeah, absolutely. And keep listening, guys. See you.
Keep listening. Bye.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Listen Up with Sim and Isha. Hope you enjoyed the conversation and make sure to like and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay tuned and listen up.